This year, there have been talks rising about this whole 4th gen girl group war thing as many talented girls debut in the recent years, and I wanted to share some thoughts and predictions about them. Hi everyone, my name is Yuki. And today we are going to be talking about some predictions I have about some of the girl groups in the 4th generation. Now, if I talk about all the girl groups in the industry right now, it would take all day. So, I will only be talking about the groups Kepler, Billlie, itzy, ive, nmix, aespa, Stacy, weeekly, loona, and lesserafim. To preface, I absolutely have nothing negative against these groups. This video will only discuss about my predictions and thoughts about the future of these groups in terms of success, and in the music that they will release. Now let's get into it.
What you looking at? What you looking at? What you looking at? What you looking at?
First up, we have lesserafim, the newest group in this roster. Now since they just debuted like 12 seconds ago, I have little to say about their future as a group. Although, in my opinion, their debut title was underwhelming, and felt like there was wasted potential in the group. The mini album itself, however, was very good, with all 3 B-sides being saved to my playlist. Nonetheless, I think they are very talented, and I think we can expect something good, especially with their B-sides as we have seen in The Great Mermaid and Sour Grapes. In terms of the future, I can see them releasing another mini at the last quarter of the year, or even early next year, maybe even a single on the side as well. Concept and sound wise, it's still unclear as to what concept they are going to focus on. Because they have this runway concept, but then there's this racing concept, and now they have a mermaid concept in their teaser photos, which makes it very confusing as to what they are going to do in the future. As a wjsn, and as someone who watched Produce, I'm very happy for Choi, Sakura, and Yeonjun's debut, as well as the other girls in lesserafim. And I'm excited to what they bring to the table in the upcoming months.
So to you. So to you.
Up next, we have Stacy. Now, I don't stand them, although I tune into their comebacks once they do. And I feel like them as a group have really solidified themselves in the K-pop industry for their youthful and bright sound and concept, even with more powerful concepts, like So Bad and Run to You. For their next comeback, which I predict will come in the 3rd quarter of the year, we might get another concept somewhere similar in the realm of Run to You or So Bad, although they might come back with a cuter concept, like with ASAP and Stereotype again, which is fine as well. We can also expect some good tracks too, as their B-sides have also been stellar so far, with some of my favorites being Butterfly and 2, 4, 7. For me, the future looks very bright for Stacy. They have gained so much traction recently, with their recent song nabbing 7 wins, and I believe that, if they continue releasing good music, they can reach higher milestones. And I'm looking forward to as to what they are going to do in the future. Coming up, we have aespa. Like Stacy, I don't stand them either, but I tune into their comebacks as well. The only difference is, I don't really like any of their music. Sure, I do listen to Yeppy Yeppy and Black Mamba occasionally, but that's really it. I'm not really into their other titles at all, especially Savage. However, I do applaud them for being trendsetters of this sort of experimental genre, which a lot of girl groups try to replicate now, which I respect. I also do think that the girls are very talented, especially Ningning and Winter. I think sound-wise they should continue this hyper-pop-ish sound, because it does suit them a lot with their futuristic eye concept. I also believe that a comeback from them is due soon, though I won't expect a lot, since they just got back from Coachella. While I may not be a huge fan of their discography, it's no doubt that they have amassed plenty of fans who adore them, and their unique music and concept. And I think they are only going to keep going up whatever happens. Now, we have weeekly. I actually do stand weeekly, and had a really big daily phase back when After School went viral. I do like their title tracks pre-After School a lot. I play Tag Me and Zigzag very frequently even now. but ever since After School, the next two titles, along with their B-sides, have been kinda disappointing. Holiday Party really only had one good song with Memories of Summer Rain, and then Para was just not it for me, especially the concept change. In terms of their future concepts, I fear that they may continue this girl crush, everglow print concept, as it did rake in more sales for the group, which may serve as motivation. Personally though, I'd really like them to revert to their cuter, schoolgirl concept, and do songs like Zigzag again. In terms of B-sides, I don't think it can really get much better than it was before. Although there were some tracks from them that I really liked, such as Weekly, Unni, and Memories of Summer Rain, a majority of their B-sides remain uninteresting and boring, although fitting of their concept. I can't really expect anything spectacular from Weekly music or concept-wise. Which is really saddening considering I loved the group a lot a while ago, and still do right now. I really hope that they come back to doing cuter concepts again, because that's when I feel like they had the best music and concept that fitted them well. Next up is NMIXX. Now, like lesserafim, I can't really say much about their debut, considering they only have 2 songs. Both of which, unfortunately, I did not like. Although I have grown to tolerate both OO and Tank, I can't really say that I will go out of my way to listen to them or put them in my playlist. Which really sucks, since I really did want to support the girls, and this just didn't hit the mark. What I really commend about them, however, is the sheer talent in that group. Members like Lily and Haewon have solidified themselves as strong vocalists, and the group as a whole are amazing performers as well. In a way, it's bittersweet since the group is just brimming with talent, just for them to spend it on a song like OO. In the future however, I really wish they could continue that sort of sound they had with that second verse and bridge in OO, as well as the cheery, light, and fairy-like aesthetic for their concept. They have proven that they absolutely can do a lighter and cuter concept, as we've seen from the Hey Gappy gig that they got. Although I didn't like their debut, I'm very excited as to what these girls contribute as something unique to NMIXX to the industry. I'm really hoping they get to release more and better music in the future, so they can do these really talented girls justice. Next up on the roster is IVE, which is arguably the hottest new girl group of the year right now. Though they only have 4 songs right now, all of them are bangers and are saved to my playlist. Granted, I had to spend a little while to get used to 11, but now I do find that it's a good song. However, the B-sides, especially Royal, are in my opinion better than the title tracks. But 11 and Love Dive have solidified themselves as the group's sound that you won't mistake for another's. So far, they have been on fire, with garnering a total of 20 wins ever since their debut as of writing this script. Sound and concept wise, I think they should continue this very elegant and classy concept, as well as the sound that I can't explain as anything but a sound exclusive to IVE. In terms of comebacks, I don't think there will be any until year end or even next year due to Love Dive promotions just ending. For me, I can't see anything but success for these girls. Although some members, especially Wonyoung, have gotten themselves into really undeserved hate, they keep on going on and being successful, which I can't be prouder of. Now, I'm very excited as to what they'll release in the future. Up next, we have Loona. Now, as a very big Loona enthusiast, I do think that they have fallen off in terms of their music. They started off strong with their monthly pre-debut project, which I do think are still some of the best songs out there in K-pop. If you haven't listened to their solo songs yet, you should give them a listen. It's amazing. Their debut Hi Hi and their first comeback with Butterfly were also beautiful and dreamy songs. However, their next comebacks with So What, Why Not, and Paint the Town were lackluster and couldn't really stand up to their prior songs. There was a glimmer of hope in Hula Hoop, but we really can't be too sure since it was a Japanese release. In terms of their concept, we can't really expect anything from Loona, as they're fairly known for switching their concept up a bit every comeback. Although what I want from them is making a clear path in terms of the storyline in the Loonaverse, as post Butterfly, there hasn't been a clear storyline in their lore, and all bits are just they're confused as to what's really happening there. Comebacks wise, it would be smart if they use the newfound fame which they are gonna get through Queendom 2 to make a comeback and really establish a domestic fan base. Now, whether their agency Blockberry Creative will use the Queendom 2 momentum to their advantage, we don't know. But if they actually use the attention they got to establish a bigger fandom, we can really see Loona being one of the top girl groups in the 4th generation. Not just internationally, but domestically as well. Now, for Billlie. As you may have seen in my layout, I loved Suki and Billlie in general a whole lot. They're my second most favorite group at the moment, and I just think that this group is just a powerhouse with 7 of the most talented girls in the industry right now. Billlie has such a unique sound to them, this quirky, creepy, yet adorable concept that really sets them apart from any other group. Their concept and their lore as well really do pull K-pop stans into the group itself. They have a lot of videos which establish their story, and I definitely recommend looking into it if you want to stan the group. Music wise, they have released nothing but bops from Ring X Ring, Snowy Night, and their latest one Jingo Mingayo, as well as some amazing B-sides like A Sign Anonymous, Everybody's Got a Secret, and The Rumor. With the fame they have gotten from Sean being from Girls Planet, as well as their main dance at Suki going viral for her fancam, they just keep getting more and more famous, and I think their company Mystic Story is utilizing their fame well as their members being extremely talented. If you haven't seen them yet, please do look into them. Now, I do think they are rising as one of the top girl groups in the industry right now, and I definitely suggest keeping an eye on them. Coming up, we have itzy. Now, itzy for me has an interesting case. They started off with such an amazing debut with Dalla Dalla, then with Icy, and then with Wannabe. But then they fell off like a million stories down. I don't know what happened with JYP, because he green-lighted songs like Not Shy and Mafia in the morning. Sure, Loco and Voltage are steps in the right direction, but I can't really be assured as to whether they are going back to the songs they had during their debut era. And I know a lot of K-tubers have said this already, but in terms of their fan base, itzy have sort of stagnated in terms of their popularity, which can honestly be said about most of JYP Entertainment's girl groups. While I do think all the members are extremely talented and are good at what they do, at this point, I don't really know which direction they are going to in terms of their concept and soundscape. I just don't think JYP knows what to do with itzy at this point, and it has been very apparent with their other groups, especially Extinary Heroes. And I find that just sad and disappointing. Although soon, we might be able to see a Korean comeback from them, and really dig back to their roots, and go back to their cheery, bright, self-confidence concept that everyone knows, and loves them for. Now, for Kepler. My brand. My ults, and the loves of my life. Generally, I only have positive things to say, and will say in the future about them. But I want to keep things fair, and give my fair share of critiques about the group, mainly about their company, Kwon Entertainment. First of all, I don't believe that enough budget is invested towards them, undeniably their largest group. If you've seen the sets of the Word at a music video, then you know how cheap the sets are, like $1 and a dream sort of cheap. And don't get me started on the Queendom performances. Their first round with literally the most party city type of props with the racing flags. And where are the backup dancers? Like, literally where? It just made their stage empty. With their second stage performance, where they sort of upgraded the props and dancers, they kinda shot themselves in the foot with it, with the bubbles making the member slip, most notably Eugene. Queendom rant aside, let's talk about their concept and sound. Now, in terms of their concept, I hope they go for brighter, cuter, and more youthful concepts, as I feel as though they suit them best, as a lot of the members give off bright energy, and a lot of the members being very youthful, in a literal sense. I hope they go for lighter sounds and work off a concept that suits them much better, as we've seen in their pool party performance. Now, as they're a newer group, we don't really know what's gonna happen in the future for them. But all we can really hope for the group is for better management on Kwon's behalf, as well as proper utilization of their fame from queendom. Then we might be able to witness the birth of a star that will outshine everyone. And those are all my thoughts and predictions on some of the most prominent girl groups in the 4th generation at the moment. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and let me know what are your thoughts in the comments. If you'd like to see more from me, please be sure to like and subscribe to me for more content soon, and I'll see you all on the road.